Following where we had left off after deciphering the flee route, Aki and Yeshing attempted to escape, but the exit route was continuously changing, making escape impossible. Upon returning to the shore, Yeshing requested assistance from the key. The key opened its eyes and showed to them the ideal route, which led them directly through the labyrinth. Professor Mans was convinced that they still had enough oxygen to reach the surface based on his calculations. However, once Yeshing lost communication with the professor because he was unable to continue utilizing the void snake, Aki became concerned since they were running out of oxygen and she wanted to tell Yeshing something. Yeshing kissed her and reassured her that they would survive. While celebrating their mission's success back aboard the carrier, the professor learned that their calculations were utterly off. In the meantime, Mingfei was attending college when he received a call from a buddy back home, who informed him of the difficulties and concerns he was experiencing. However, despite his friend's best efforts, Mingfei continued to feel uneasy. After 14 minutes of looking for the two, Professor Mans was forced to retreat. Before all hope was gone, however, Aki surfaced and surrendered the urn to the search team, stating that Yeshing had sacrificed his life to collect it. She was then taken away by something before she could surface again. Despondent, Professor Mans ordered the engine to start, since he also observed that a large object was approaching. He suspected that this beast was responsible for the deaths of his classmates, so he decided to exact retribution. After the professor's barrage of gunfire and bombs, they believed the beast to be dead. Selma was impaled from behind and pulled into the river while the professor was discussing the nature of the beast with his lone remaining student. The professor went insane and fired ceaselessly into the ocean. The beast began to swim about the carrier, teasing them as they were running low on gasoline and far from land. However, using the professor's instructions, they navigated the carrier to the closest dam. Professor Mans instructed the key to open the gates, allowing them and the beast to enter, as the beast was about to catch up. They were able to trap and kill the beast thanks to the professor, the key, and the detonation of the remaining bombs in its stomach. Professor Mans was however bitten by one of its fangs. Principal Andrew declares that the team on the aircraft carrier is safe and acknowledges Mingfei, the student who has made the greatest contribution to this rescue mission. Everyone claps for Mingfei. After the group disperses, Chu Ziheng visits Mingfei. He wants to encourage Mingfei to join the Lionheart Association and explains that he requires a qualified successor for this organization. The bell suddenly rings. Ziheng explains that it is a notice that someone has passed away, and that the school would release white pigeons in their honor. It turns out that Professor Mans' entire team, including Yeshing and Aki, is dead. The principal must disclose a lie in order to avoid panicking the children. When Mingfei opens her computer the following morning and discovers Motong's email, she invites her to a welcome meal tomorrow. Caesar expressed interest in conversing with him. It appears that the student council is also interested in recruiting Mingfei. The finger exposes Caesar's family history. The family of Caesar is the most renowned family in the Western world. He is the sole heir to the dynasty and will become the future Western world ruler. You may challenge me, but I'm prepared to laugh at you. It is so conceited. Evening finds Mingfei and Finger at the party, where they observe an approaching truck. Behind the vehicle is a rose-lined path. Then Motong appears wearing the same dress she was wearing when she saved Mingfei. Mingfei smiles when he sees Motong, but this happiness is swiftly destroyed when Caesar summons Motong. Caesar and Motong enter the building together. The bell is rung to herald the arrival of Caesar and Motong by the butler. Today's celebration is in honor of Motong's birthday. Caesar moves to begin the celebration. Caesar is an arrogant individual. He wants Mingfei's support, yet he consistently demonstrates the opposite. To grab everyone's attention, he claps his hands and summons Mingfei. He suggests that if Mingfei decides to join the student council, he should stand next to him. If he disagrees, he may exit through the door over there. He provides Mingfei with some time to make a decision. Suddenly, a female with the identity Zero approaches Mingfei to encourage her to dance. Mingfei is pushed towards Zero by Finger, and they begin dancing together. Zero instructs Mingfei to dance in the most comprehensible manner possible. After concluding the dance, they receive acclaim for their excellent performance. Zero bids farewell to Fei and departs. At this point, Motong leaves the gathering as well. Mingfei chases after Motong to wish her a happy birthday. Motong requested that Mingfei drive her up the hills so she can wander around. Norma's system notifies everyone that intruders have entered the school. The intruders dispersed in 3 separate ways after dividing into 3 groups. Their objective is to acquire the brass urn for which Aki and Yashang gave their lives. Norma begins to prepare the students for warfare by issuing a warning. Motong and Mingfei are currently on their way up the hill. Mingfei looks over and sees Lu Mingzi all of a sudden. Mingzi requests that Mingfei confess to Motong. In response, Motong offers to help Mingfei prepare the flowers. Then, he touches Mingfei's face with his finger to break the seal. They continue walking to the slope after the automobile abruptly stops. Back at the campus, the invaders divided into 3 teams and fled in 3 different directions. However, Only 2 of the teams were apprehended. Only 1 team remained, but Norma had not yet located them. The maths professor instructs Professor Mainstein to use the Void Serpent to locate them, but Professor Mainstein explains that the college is protected by the Night Watchman's different language, so they cannot utilize spirit language. Mainstein contacts the Night Watchman to request that he eliminate this spirit language so that everyone may use their own language. Night Watchman initiates the dismantling of the barrier that sealed the spirit power of everyone. Norma notifies all students that they are now permitted to utilize spirit language. The spirit power of everyone was being unleashed from their eyes. Mainstein searches for the remaining intruders using the Void Serpent. One of them enters the wine storage facility. This individual's alias is 13. He infiltrated the college at the request of his employer. He begins to employ the spirit language sickle at the church where Caesar was assigned to guard. His spirit language ranks 69th. The greater the user's spirit language rating, the greater their strength. 100 is the highest ranking possible. Caesar detects numerous attackers approaching him in Zihang after utilizing spirit language to survey the local area. He contacts Zihang to update him on the situation. At the library, Zihang assumes responsibility for its security. Students in the vicinity of Zihang are warned to avoid the library, as Zihang's spirit language is extremely potent and can damage those around him. The church was entered by intruders. They are invisible due to the spirit language used by their captain, yet it appears that Caesar can see them. He breaks the captain's spirit language and forces them to appear. This girl's name is Sakata Kamai. Caesar notices that her surname is the same as Aki's, and she reveals that she is Aki's older sister, to everyone's amazement. Mai throws a phone that is playing a song, and which indicates that the game will begin when the song stops. Caesar requested Norma to turn off the lights at the conclusion of the song. After the song concludes, the lights are turned out and the combat between the 2 groups commences in the dark. Upon the return of the lights, only the 2 captains of the 2 opposing factions remained. The only reason members of both factions are placed in a coma is because they agreed to use anesthetic bullets. Mai confesses that her objective is to purchase time. Both parties continue to engage in combat. Caesar ignites the language of the spirit. His surroundings is engulfed in darkness. In his dark location, no one can conceal themselves. Mai has just approached Caesar when he raises a gun to her head, but she abruptly vanishes, to Caesar's surprise. Additionally, an intruder begins to infiltrate the library. Professor Good is perplexed as to why the invader is unarmed. The maths professor believes that she is so powerful that she does not require the use of weapons, but Zihang's spirit language is also highly ranked. Zihang begins to activate the 89th ranked spirit language. Additionally, the intruder employs spirit language, which is ranked 89th. At this time, 13 follows the directions of the leader and falls into the water. He discovers an old door underneath. He believes the college is concealing something, so he opens the door. Currently, Mingfei and Motong are conversing by a lake. She invites Mingfei to join the student council, stating that she wants a younger sibling to participate. She adds that she came here because she hopes to receive a birthday gift from a woman. She wonders who will be president this year. Motong murmurs that she desires a flower bouquet. Suddenly, music emanates from the car, followed by the appearance of fireworks in the sky. The name in the sky is not Motong's, thus it would appear that she is not the intended recipient of the fireworks display. Motong states that she views everything she sees here to be a blessing. Mingfei informs her that he will now be her younger brother and wishes her a happy birthday. When he returns to 13's residence, he unlocks the door and is drawn inside. The water current transports him to a destination. He observes a big shark, which fortunately does not attack him. He exits the tank and continues to inspect the surrounding environment. After inspecting the rooms, he discovers the location of the brass urn, at which point a figure suddenly appears in front of him. He is also like Mingfei. Always present in his imagination is a young man. The defense system prevents him from approaching the brass urn, giving him pain. The task is too onerous for him, so he abandons it along with the reward and departs. Following his departure, a strange figure appears and assists 13 in completing the final step of this journey. In order to reawaken the mighty Nidhogg, he pours a liquid and his own blood onto the egg. Within Caesar's dark barrier, he is in jeopardy if he cannot determine Mai's location. He is fighting against her delusions. He is then compelled to employ advanced spirit language to discover Mai's actual whereabouts. Mai pulls out a revolver and points it at Caesar's head, despite their previous agreement to use only blades. Suddenly, a massive explosion erupts, interrupting the match. Caesar proposes ending the contest, and Mai agrees. They will investigate the cause of the explosion. Caesar hypothesizes that a person's temperature may be comparable to that of the sun after observing burning tracks on the ground and a burned hole in the wall. They return to the campus once Motong's automobile resumes operation. On her journey back to the college, Motong's phone rings, and she receives a message from Caesar informing her that an organization is attacking the institution. At the library, Zihong and the intruder are still engaged in combat. The masked professor observes that the intruder is still not utilizing her full strength, and that Zihong is at a standstill. At this point, 13 rides his motorcycle toward the college's entrance in an attempt to flee. Professor Good instructs the students to stop 13, but it appears that his driving skills are too proficient, as he avoids all of the bullets. As he believes he will surely escape, he is struck by Motong's car. Mingfei becomes frightened and kneels to apologize to 13 clearly. Mingfei recognizes the number 13 as his teammate Luo Jie at this point. Mingfei aids Luo Jie in evading the pursuers by becoming Luo Jie's hostage. Certainly, a loud bang can be heard behind them. Motong instructs her to look in the mirror instead of behind her. A boy in white summons Mingfei's brother, causing him and his companions to flee in terror. Bullets dissolve before reaching the youngster, despite the professor's request for all pupils to attack him. Even explosives had no effect on the child. The boy's mumbled incantation terrifies the professor. They instruct the kids to drop to the ground to avoid the massive explosion. The explosion interrupts the ongoing conflict between Zihong and the intruder. Zihong receives word that a dragon has appeared in the university. Zihong questions the intruder about her intentions. The invader claims that the event was unintentional and then leaves. Professor Mainstein asks the Night Watchman to negate the dragon's powers, but the Night Watchman responds that he is unable to do so because the dragon appears to be the first generation with a higher bloodline than him. He is, thus, one of the 4 dragon kings. He is said to be the master of fire and metal, the lord of bronze and fire. Mai and Caesar travel to the lair of the monster. Mai attempts to contact her teammates to inform them of the issue. The girl hypothesizes that the dragon was improperly awoken, causing his powers to be out of control. His body will rapidly become intolerable and burst, causing a firestorm that engulfs the entire hill. The girl explains that metal bullets will not work against the Dragon King, but non-metal bullets will. Frigga. Caesar and Mai begin firing Frigga bullets at the dragon, prompting him to retreat. It appears to function properly. The principal recognizes the efficacy of Frigga bullets and urges his students to utilize them. Luo Jie, Finger, and Mingfei are currently gathered in a pool because they believe the water will destroy the fire dragon. Clearly, Luo Jie senses the dragon's presence and predicts his arrival. They continue to devise a new scheme. If they enter the water, the dragon will be unable to detect them. Mingfei can no longer hold his breath, so he stands up and observes the altered landscape. He checks by running about and spotting the Dragon King. The Dragon King refers to him as his brother. This concludes the second part of Dragon Raja. If you want me to continue covering this series, please like and subscribe to this video. And now, maintain the Dragon Raja train's momentum. I hope you appreciate the video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for more awesome anime recaps. See everyone next time.